Standard & Poor's says in its global daily update for today that there are no easy answers when it comes to the energy transition from carbon-intensive fossil fuels. According to an analysis by the S&P Global, renewable energy sources will account for only 18% of global energy demand by the year 2030. But the race to clean and sustainable energy is already on. Today, Nigeria formally launched what has been described as an ambitious energy transition plan with a price tag of $410 billion to be achieved by the year 2060. Announcing the grand plan ahead of the COP27 summit in Cairo, Egypt later in October was the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Among other high-profile speakers at the virtual event this afternoon were the head of the UN Sustainable Energy for All, Damilola Ogunbiyi, as well as the CEO of the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, Simon Hartford. Let's listen.
African nations are rising to the challenge. All African countries have signed the Paris Agreements, and some countries, South Africa, Sudan, Angola, and Nigeria, have also announced net zero targets. But for Africa, the problem of energy poverty is as important as our climate ambitions. Energy use is crucial for almost every conceivable aspect of development: wealth, health, nutrition, water, infrastructure, education, and life expectancy are significantly related to the consumption of energy per capita. Africa, with about 17% of the world's population, only generates 4% of the world's electricity. The current lack of power hurts livelihoods and destroys the dreams of hundreds of millions of young people. And although Africa's current unmet energy needs are huge, future demand will even be greater due to expanding populations, urbanization, and movement into the middle class. It is clear that the continent must address its energy constraints and would require external support and policy flexibility to deliver this. Unfortunately, in the wider responses to the climate crisis, we're not seeing careful consideration and acknowledgement of Africa's aspirations. For instance, despite the tremendous energy gaps, global policies are increasingly constraining Africa's energy technology choices. There is a clear need for African nations to engage more critically and vocally in conversations on our global climate future. More importantly, we need to take ownership of our transition pathways and design climate-sensitive strategies that address our growth objectives. This is what Nigeria has sought to do with our energy transition plan. The plan was designed to tackle the dual crises of energy poverty and climate change and deliver SDG 7 by 2030 and net zero by 2060. While centering the provision of energy for development, industrialization, and economic growth. We anchored the plan on key objectives, including lifting 100 million people out of poverty in a decade, driving economic growth, bringing modern energy services to the full population, and managing the expected long-term job loss in the oil sector due to global decarbonization. Given these objectives, the plan recognizes the role of natural gas in the short term to facilitate the establishment of baseload energy capacity and address the nation's clean cooking deficit in the form of LPG. The plan envisions vibrant industries powered by low-carbon technologies, streets lined with electric vehicles, and livelihoods enabled by sufficient and clean energy. The plan has the potential to create about 340,000 jobs by 2030 and 840,000 jobs by 2060. And it presents a unique opportunity to deliver a true low-carbon and rapid development model in Africa's largest economy. However, the plan also highlights the significant scale of resources required to attain both development and climate ambitions. Nigeria would need to spend $410 billion above business as usual spending to deliver our transition plan by 2060, which translates to about $10 billion per year. The average $3 billion per year investments in renewable energy recorded for the whole of Africa between the years 2000 and 2020 will certainly not suffice. Towards implementation of the plan, we have an interministerial energy transition implementation working group, which I have the privilege of chairing. We are currently engaging with partners to secure an initial $10 billion support package ahead of COP27, along the lines of the South African Just Energy Transition Partnership, which was announced at COP26 in Glasgow. In addition, we are currently implementing power sector initiatives and reforms that are focused on expanding our grid, increasing generation capacity, and employing renewable energy to rural and underserved populations. Significantly, today, we're also launching an innovative results-based finance program that focuses specifically on scaling up electricity access for productive users. The Universal Energy Facility will provide grant payments to enable solar companies expand their operations to small and medium-sized enterprises across Nigeria, while crowding in additional private capital. Projects that are sponsored by the Universal Energy Facility will help grow businesses and create jobs, making them key contributors to our energy transition plan. And I'd like to encourage solar companies in attendance today to engage with this innovative financing opportunity, which is being managed by the Sustainable Energy for All, C4All. We developed our energy transition plan to engage with the rest of the world in a serious, thorough, and data-backed manner. We're hopeful that investors and the global community, particularly in the lead-up to COP27, will recognize the immense opportunities and potential for impact on the African continent. Working together, we can make this moment count for Nigeria, for Africa, and the rest of the world.
I'm delighted to be part of this public launch of Nigeria's energy transition plan. Without a doubt, energy is an essential part of everything we do. It is a critical ingredient in our daily activities. At the same time, energy also accounts for over 2/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions, contributing significantly to the climate crisis. Both these challenges need to be addressed urgently, or we will remain far off track in ending energy poverty and meeting our net zero ambition. To get there, we need bold and urgent action towards a just and equitable energy transition. This requires an understanding that we must address climate change, energy poverty, and development. Recognizing that countries at different stages of development need sufficient sustainable energy to grow their economies, as well as develop along a low carbon pathway. I'd like to commend the federal government of Nigeria for taking a bold step at COP26 last year and announcing its commitments to achieving net zero by 2060. That includes delivering universal energy access for its entire population by 2030. The Energy Transition Council, of which I co-chair with the COP26 president, supported the government in the development of an energy transition plan that is backed by comprehensive and robust data and analysis and outlines the country's unique energy transition pathway. Nigeria has also championed a just, equitable, and inclusive energy transition through its role as a global theme champion on energy transition at last year's United Nations High-Level Dialogue on Energy, and by submitting an ambitious energy compact. Beyond Nigeria, we have seen other African countries demonstrating a willingness to be equal partners in the global fight against climate change, including through the Kigali Communique that was the outcome of an African ministerial meeting held on the sidelines of the Sustainable Energy for All Forum in Kigali in May. The communique begins to define what a just and equitable energy transition would mean for the region, outlining transformative actions towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal 7. In this pivotal decade of action, we must collaborate to succeed on achieving our multiple goals on climate, energy, and development. Once again, I commend the federal government of Nigeria for taking this important step.
Nigeria has the world's largest unelectrified population, 90 million people, some 45% of the country. But in addition, Nigeria's economic development requires more electricity, more generation, not less. How do we achieve that with clean energy, not more diesel? And how do we stop the levels of unhealthy cooking? And Nigeria needs to be taking every step it can to attract private sector solutions. And that's competitive. If the market is not competitive with the policies, the regulation, the certainty, the enablers, capital will go elsewhere. And thirdly, it needs partners. We bring a coalition of support to assist Nigeria, where everyone can play to their strengths and be coordinated. That's what GIAP is here for. We're a coalition of over 20 partners of philanthropy, funders, implementers, governments, and others. We're already in action in Nigeria, working with SE for All, with the Rural Electrification Agency, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and so many other partners already underway trying to assist the implementation of your plan. So we congratulate you today on the launch of this officially, but it's just the beginning. And GIAP stands ready to support the government of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria as you implement this critical agenda, as we all change energy for good.